Hello everyone, Blitz here. Ninjago has been one of my favorite shows ever since it started back in 2011, and it's still going on to this day. There were a couple of spin-offs of the shows that were cancelled after a couple of years. There was Chima that was part of the Worlds of Ninjago, but failed. That I believe that they tried to replace Ninjago after the original series finale for the show. And there was Next Gen that I enjoyed a lot, but failed due to lack of funding and poor sales in the sets. If the creators of Ninjago said they were going to make a spin-off off of Ninjago, and they made a poll of certain characters to choose from, who would you choose to see one from, and only one? So I came up with about 8 ideas for a spin-off show concept that takes place in Ninjago, different certain characters. If any of these ideas sound interesting and cool to watch, tell me in the comments below for which one you want to see the most, if they were real. The first one here is Ninjago Tales of the First Spinjitzu Master. This is like a 3 to 4 season show with 8 to 10 episodes. And this show is actually animated, not a serialette where they don't even show the first Spinjitzu Master. This focuses on him in the first realm where he came into existence, and focuses on the Oni and dragons, where they show the conflict and history of them. And by the finale of the season, he leaves the realm to go and create Ninjago. And in the second season, he travels the realms on many adventures and shows up in a world that will soon to be Ninjago. And he will have conflict with Rojira and team up with Naiad to make peace. And in the third season, he creates Ninjago and shows the world he have created and the birth of the Overlord and the start of the Stone Wars. And by the finale, he splits Ninjago in two, and the other season will focus on small adventures and him raising his kids, Ru and Gabardon. The next show idea is Ninjago: The 17 Wars. I know we are getting a prequel comic about this in 2026, but it would be better as in an animated series. This will be a 1 or 2, possibly 3 season series, 10 episodes each. We can see the 17 rise to power and how the humans made them the enemy. We can learn more about the Endochondri, the most powerful 17, and more about Arcturus and the other generals. We can see how the Elemental Alliance formed and how Misako and Gamaron met, and saw how Chen tricked both sides, man and serpent, and how he trained Gamaron too. And we can see more of the time trends too, and see more Rei and Maya as well. The next idea here is Ninjago: The Pirates Saga. This show will focus on Captain Soto and the crew of the Destiny Bounty, and Nauticon and the crew of Misfortune's Keep. This could be a 1 or 2 season show, 10 episodes each, with many adventures of both crews. And around the series finale, we can see the showdown between both crews, and see Solo trap Nauticon in the teapot, and see the crew of the Destiny's Bounty disappear trying to find the Dark Island. The next idea here is Ninjago: Dareth and the People of Ninjago. This show will mainly follow Dareth going on silly adventures when the ninja are doing their own thing, and he goes around interacting with the people of Ninjago. And some will join his adventures, people like Cyrus Borg, the Mailman, Gail Gospert, the Paper Kids. This could be a 1 or 2 season show, 8 to 10 episodes each, where it can expand more on the city of Ninjago and its people by following Dareth. So, before I end this right here, during Comic-Con 2025 here, a question was asked if Dareth would get a spin-off show, and I said it was most likely, but I highly doubt it. I don't hate Dareth, but I kind of find him funny sometimes, but it would be cool to see more of him. The next idea here is Ninjago: The Bounty Hunter Ronin. This could be a 2 or 3 season show with 8 to 10 episodes each that primarily focuses on Ronin. It would be about his past coming back to haunt him. It would show conflict of someone from his past that wants revenge, and one who wants to make amends for his past actions and tries to be a better person. Keyword here, he tries. He will travel all over Ninjago, going to places that he visited a long time ago, and promises that he'll never return to them again, but he has to fix his mistakes and look for treasure too. While he has old enemies from his past, he also has new enemies too that reminds him that he cannot atone for his past mistakes. During the show, he would also take jobs to make a quick buck and would do anything for money. And there will be flashbacks on how he met the ninja and messed with them, how he brought Zane the Chin, and how he met the Soul Archer, where he bet on his soul and has to work to pay it off. They also can introduce his daughter and his past relationships he had. If you didn't know, yes, he has a secret daughter and a wife. Well, ex-wife or something like that. But he does have a daughter that we never saw. This is on the Ninjago Wiki, by the way. The next idea here is Skylar, the Master of Ember. This could be a 2 to 3 season show with 8 to 10 episodes each. This will follow Skylar where she uncovers a conspiracy within Ninjago and see this corruption going through law enforcement, where she has to fight it off in the shadows, in the light too, where she makes new allies, but at the same time, she don't know who to trust in the city. But at the same time, it will focus on her father's side too, where Chin has his underground empire secrets that someone found and wants to finish Chin's work and gain power just like him for his own gain. That also causes trouble for the city, and a personal problem for Skylar will also uncover secrets about Skylar's mother too. Where this show also shows flashbacks how Chin and Skylar's mother met, and how Chin rose to power and made an underground criminal empire through Ninjago, and got people to join his cause to take over Ninjago with worshipping the Inner. The next idea here is Ninjago Ghost Story Moro, the Master of Wind. This could be a 2-season show with 8 to 10 episodes each, where the first season shows more insight on Moro's childhood, where he met Rue and trained under him, and where he got angry for not being chosen to be the Green Ninja, where he left to go search for the first Ninjutsu Master's tomb, where we see him go on an adventure to find it, and at the end of the season, his cursed spirit ended up in the cursed realm, and sees him escaping the realm when the doors open. And in the second season, it can be a redemption story, where he helped departed souls move on in the spectral lands, where he also deals with conflict within the realms. The next idea here is Ninjago Prime Empire Scott's Quest. This is a 1 or 2 season show with 8 to 10 episodes each. Before the events of Prime Empire, this will focus on Scott's time in Prime Empire and a little of his life before he entered the game. It shows more of Milton Dyer creating the game and the issues he has after shutting down the project. For Scott, it shows him enjoying the game at first, going on the many adventures that he has playing the game, having a fun time before realizing that he's stuck inside the game and figure out what Unigami was up to and has to survive, hiding for so long, and he runs into Jay and they team up to survive this game before the actual season starts. It's more of a prequel to this, and it'll show more of Jay's time being in Prime Empire before any of the other ninja. The last idea here is Ninjago, Shintaro, and the Legend of Lily. This one could be a 1 or 2 season show with 8 to 10 episodes each. This show will focus on Cole's mother, Lily. It will show her adventures within Shintaro, her fighting Griefbringer, helping the Geckos and Moots tribes, and it could show the Upply or Lowly, whatever they call themselves, them having adventures on the side too. They can also show the Princess Vanya and her friendship with one of the tribe members that visited her when she was young. We can see more of Lily and know more about her, the relationship she had, and we can see Cole as a kid in flashbacks. And we can see her interactions with the Elemental Alliance in flashbacks too. This is a bonus one. They could animate the Dark Island trilogy. If you don't know, there is a book that's canon to the show called the Dark Island trilogy that takes place before the Day of the Departed and after Skybound. After the events where we race, the ninja head to the Dark Island to find Misako and I guess Ronin. They were trying to find something but got attacked. So they head off to rescue them, and they also got attacked and shipwrecked. Later the ninja found out they were the Sky Pirates, but only Jay and Nia remembers them, but not the ninja and the pirates also. They were brought back by Klaus, who is the main villain of this trilogy. He got a human body back so he can gain more power and rule Ninjago. I didn't pay much attention to the book when I watched it from a storytelling reader on YouTube. And if you're wondering why there was a mural painting of Klaus in Season 10 at the monastery, this trilogy is why. This is one last bonus here, and this one would definitely not happen, but would you like to see a show based on the movie versions? Lloyd trying to bond with his dad and his family along with the other ninja while going on adventures and trying to survive high school. This one would never happen because the Lego universe is over, and pretty sure WB doesn't work with Lego anymore. And the movie hasn't been mentioned or brought up in a decade and left a bad taste in the fans' mouth. And for me, I like half of the redesigns when they were changed in the show. Nia got the best change out of all of them. I prefer Jay's new design. Wood got better. I'm mixed on Cole's design. I would prefer Kai's old design. And don't get me started on Zane. Now the movie isn't the best thing in the world, and it isn't even terrible. But the humor is great. It had its moments. It went through development hell from many changes. You can find videos on the development on this movie on YouTube. I didn't expect it to be exactly like the show, but it could have followed a similar story. Those were 9 ideas I had for Ninjago spinoffs. If I want any of these to be real, I want a spinoff of the Serpentine Wars. That part of Ninjago lore and history is just really interesting to me. Which one of these ideas do you like and you wish was a real spinoff? All of these can't happen because of budget and time reasons, but one spinoff in Ninjago would be cool. Or bring back Nexo Knights or Chima. Those are questions I see most often within the Ninjago community. Ninjago only succeeded because it had villains. Well, that is correct, but it's not entirely true. We fell in love with the show because of the characters and the world building it has, which the other shows didn't do much with the world building with the first seasons. In the pilot, it showed who made the world, had powerful weapons and artifacts, and established the villain. And it expanded it more in the first season, showing more of the world of Ninjago, introducing the Serpentine and how they view the world, how a story of war happened between humans and snakes. It was said but never shown. It gave us the story of how Garmadon became evil. It showed us more of the characters and what they can do. In the second season, it showed more of Ninjago, the ultimate big bad, the second half of Ninjago, the Dark Island, a bit more story of the first Ninjutsu Master, and this was the original ending to Ninjago. Ninjago was a 3-year plan and got replaced with Chima, and because of fan outcry, they brought it back. I feel like it was dumb to cancel it. They made a vast and interest world that people wanted to know more of. And Pythor is a prime example of that. He is the last of his kind and is from the most powerful snake tribe, and we know nothing about it. And we know nothing about it from the first 2 seasons. Now, the third season didn't give us a lot of world building, but it showed us our favorite characters can die and mention a character from Ruin Gamadon's past. And it showed more of the city. In the fourth season, it showed us Gamadon's past, the 17th War, more of the most powerful snake tribe, and let us know that there is more Elemental Masters out there. Season 5 expanded on the world, showing more of Rue's past, introducing worlds beyond Ninjago, the Realm Crystal, showing a new martial artist technique, and new locations in Ninjago. Season 6 didn't give us much, but it showed us genies exist in these worlds. Now, Season 7 gave us more within the show. More of the Serpentine War, time is an elemental power, and the biggest mystery in the show, what happened to Kai and Nia's parents. In Season 8 and 9, they are basically the same. It introduced us the first realm, birthplace of the first Ninjutsu Master, the myth and legends of Oni and dragons, and showed the Emperor and Empress of Ninjago. I'm going to stop here, but you get the point. Ninjago had a vast majority of world building, and the other shows barely got into that. Chima didn't get into that until Season 2, and Nexo Knights barely dropped any of that. So that's probably why these shows didn't continue. Ninjago was a show that took itself seriously and knew how to have fun. It didn't take itself too serious most of the time, and it did tackle serious and heavy situations like death, and it tackled racism. It wasn't against people, but it was against snakes. The people of Ninjago didn't like the Serpentine and treated them poorly. It was like this for the first 5 to 7 seasons, then became more acquainted with the people of Ninjago. Some even became friends with them. Chima and Nexo Knights were a bit silly, but barely got serious until their second or third seasons. And just to let you know, they actually had a spin-off in mind before. It was going to focus on the female characters like Nia, Pixel, Skylar, and a brand new character, and they were going to make Ronan the main villain. It never got greenlighted and picked up. Lego never found it interesting to make. That's all I have for this video, and I'll see you all later.